to Board Game Renaissance. This is Brian. I thought I'd put together another video for Warfighter, their World War II tactical combat card game. I created a previous video of the unboxing I did of the Kickstarter bundle that just got released, and I thought I'd put together this video for a component overview of just the core box and maybe an initial setup and take a look at how the game works. And I decided to do that since not everyone's going to have the Kickstarter bundle, and I'm sure some folks just want to see how the core box is put together. I think at some point I'll do another video after this one that will go over the components of the Kickstarter so everyone can see the metal miniatures and all the extra card decks that came with that. I did want to mention though, if you haven't seen that initial video, go ahead and click the link, or I'll put it down in the video description to check out that other video. But I did want to mention that in that video, a viewer had pointed out that the rulebook that came here in this core box had some printing errors in it. And I'll just take a look really quick. They had some keen eyes. I guess I wasn't paying very close attention, but there were some pages in here that had some really bad print. I guess the ink kind of smeared during the printing process. So that was something that actually that Dan Nance himself contacted me after he saw the video. He wanted to remedy the problem very quickly. So I just wanted to say shout outs to Dan Nance and the whole crew there. They immediately sent me a new rule book, which is right here. This one, of course, is pristine. And I just like to say DVGs, they're a small company, but they really do care about all the customers and gamers out there. And if you guys seem to have a problem with any of your components, I know for sure that they'll do what they can to make it right. So if you have any issues with your copy, contact them and they'll fix it for you. Also, I wanted to mention, I looked this up, the cover is just great artwork here. It says here it's Dan Nance is the artist for this. I went and looked it up on Google to see what he was all about, and there's a website with a lot of his historical paintings and artwork. So if you're interested in that, I'll put a link down in the video description for that as well. This, I believe is a piece called Operation Market Garden, which I'm sure a lot of the fans of the HBO show Band of Brothers will remember that as one of the episodes. Of course, this is an airborne soldier here from the 101st. And also, of course, shout outs to the other artist, Terry Cravat. He did a pretty good job with this map and all the card artwork. I wanted to show you here, I punched out all the tokens, and of course I'm not gonna film that because it's just a tedious process. But those are the four sheets of tokens that came with the core box, and I went ahead and put them in my nifty little token trays here. These came with my Kickstarter package, but anyone who's interested can probably pick these up for a really low price on any of the websites. I'm assuming some local game stores might carry this as well. But I wanted to point out how these tokens are definitely a step up in quality from previous games that at least I've been exposed to. So I just wanted to show this other game, the other DVG game that I have that a lot of solo gamers will talk about, Thunderbolt Apache Leader. And these tokens, I just wanted to show the difference here. The tokens in Thunderbolt, they're actually square tokens, and they're they get really, if I can kind of show that there, they get really scuffed around the edges depending on how well the die cut in the factory was. I had issues where I had to actually cut these straight with my hobby knife to make sure that they came out okay. So maybe there's an example that rough edges, not necessarily the greatest, but with Warfighter here, they definitely took a step up on this. As you can see in the token sheets here, they separated them out so they have rounded corners, which is great. So like every single one of these came out perfect, actually, in my opinion. I actually really dig how great these came out. No issues whatsoever, no rough edges. Nice. I mean, for me, components are a big part of the game, as I'm sure it is for a lot of others. So these are the tokens that come with the game. I separated out the soldier related stuff into its own tray box. So you have like the actual soldier numbers here, and then these are the target numbers that match the soldier numbers. So if a hostile is targeting them, then we will draw one of these. We'll go over that during the gameplay, but that's why we have 2 of those. These are hardy counters, which is a new mechanic in the game where it indicates how well somebody can handle heat or extreme cold. So I think there'll be a future expansion in the African theater of war where it's the hot desert, right? And then of course Russia will be extreme cold. These here are for the service records. We'll go over that later. And then these are the action tokens. And then I put all of the weapon and gear related stuff here. So you can imagine if we had all of this stuff in just one bag or a pile, it'd be kind of hard to sort it out. This will get you up and running real quick when you want to start a quick game. So we got all of our weapons and ammo and gear here. That's how I separated those out. What I'll do now is I'll just go ahead and open these cards so we can take a look. We'll just separate them out real quick. These are the dice again. I've showed that before. We get 3 10-sided dice and 1 6-sided dice. We'll roll these every time we make an attack against a hostile, and they'll roll them when they make an attack against our soldiers. All right, let's open this first deck here. There's some hostiles here, according to the back card, but the front has some action cards. So we'll just let's take a look at these and just separate them out. So I'm gonna just get all the action cards here in a pile. All right, we'll look at those in a second. And then we got all of our event cards. Well, I don't know if they're all the event cards. We'll find out when we open the other deck packs there. These are events. We got some frontline hostiles, which are the easier hostiles to confront during the game. Oh, there's the beginning of the elite, so that's why it's a tank. Funny. Yeah, so all frontline, and this one is an elite, and that's indicated with the E as elite. All the other guys will have an F for frontline under their number. All right, so that is hostiles. Let's take a look here. This one looks like it's going to have some gear in here and maybe some other interesting things. All right, I'm just going to separate these out. Oh, so there are 2 equipment cards so far. We'll probably see more. Some weapons. Let's just look through here and separate out all the weapons. There's some more action deck, just like I was assuming. All right, so we got some cool stuff here. A rocket launcher, flamethrower, machine gun, pistol, rifle grenade. Another rifle, 2 different kind of rifle grenades. Indirect fire at M9. M9 and M17. Got our M1 rifles, carbines, SMGs, scopes, bayonets, and melee knives, and grenades. We'll be seeing these a lot during the game. All right, that's weapons. I'm sure we might have more weapons than that. Here's more of the action deck. Wow, it's a big stack of actions. That's great. There'll be a lot of actions to choose from. Of course, these will all be shuffled when you play. Sniper, cover, movement, aiming, sacrifice, suppression, take cover, foobar. I love that. I'm pretty sure the foobar term was coined during World War II. I could be wrong. Anybody welcome to correct me if I'm wrong about that. In this other stack right here, we had all these location markers. So in our action deck, whenever we have a location marker, we will draw from the location deck. This just allows us to get the correct regions. So in the core box is just Europe, but eventually we'll have different regions that we'll be doing our missions in. And so instead of shuffling the location straight into the action deck, we'll have these markers which will indicate, we'll draw it out of the location deck, and we'll see locations in a minute. So these are all markers, so that's why we saw a second stack there. Those will go with the other actions, and we'll shuffle all those together. Let's take a look at this one. Oh, more actions. Okay. All right, got it open. Finally. All right, more actions. Separate all those out. I guess this whole thing is actions. Great. That's great. Okay. So it looks like more movement. Drawing fire, camouflage, combined fire, silver bullets, flanking. It's great. Infiltrate, mortar support. That's cool. More movement with move out. Overwatch. Anybody played that video game? It's a pretty fun video game. Reloading. Oh, cool. That'll be helpful when you need to reload at just the right time. So that's a very large action deck. That's great. Looks like here's the beginning of the Elite Hostiles. Alright. So actually this is some more equipment. Let's separate these out. Okay. Elite Hostiles. These are all elites. Alright. And they're different than the front lines. We can look at those in a minute. Skill cards, which will actually help buff up a soldier's abilities. So let's look at the skill cards. Spotter, Loader, Corpsman, Panic actually reduces your overall cost. Oh, looks like if you're green, you reduce your cost even more. Rifleman, Machine Gunner, Close Combat, Marksman, nice. Focus, Guts, Veteran. Oh, these are great pictures. I remember seeing this in that World War II documentary. It looks like they took a lot of historical pictures here. This is great. Really like the feel of this game so far. Just by looking at the cards, it evokes a really good feeling of that era. Let's put these together with this equipment here. So let's take a quick look at the equipment. Canteen, a couple canteens, first aid kits, smoke grenades, charging breach, entrenching tool. Okay, cool. All right, let's open this last pack. All right, here we go. So let's separate out actions because I know, oh, here we go. Only a few more, that's good. I was gonna say, where are the locations? Here we go. These are all Europe locations. So it looks like it'll be with the green band on it. I'm guessing the other locations coming out and expansions will have a different color, maybe, I don't know, or a different. Maybe nothing will be different, but the name. So we'll see. These are all the locations. Each one has an entrance cost. We'll go over that during the gameplay. Wow, these are great. Alright, locations. And objectives. So we're going to choose an objective out of the objective deck. These are objectives. This will be the final location in our mission. So it will kind of be like, you know, the boss monster. Another video game term. Okay, objective cards and then mission cards. Here we go. And the mission cards. We'll choose one mission and one objective for that mission. So we just look at the objective cards, but these are the missions that will start out everything. Great. Missions, objectives, locations. All right, and then now we're down to the soldiers, which is where all the game comes from. So we're going to have these are player soldiers, where they just have a name there. And how many do we have here? These are all player soldiers. So there's 6 of them to choose from. Right? They'll have their own costs on the top right. Some more expensive than others, of course. Alright, so those are the player soldiers so far. And now we have non-player soldiers. These guys come with predetermined weapons and gear. And I guess even skills. It looks like marksman and focus are on here. Yeah, so non-player soldiers will tell you what they come with, and then that's all you can bring with them. You can't customize them any further like you can with a player soldier. So these are non-player soldiers. Look, there's 4 of them here. I'm sorry, 5. Is that right? Yeah, 5. Right. 5 non-player soldiers, and then I think the rest are just squads. The squad soldiers, 6 of those. These guys are just a single card, and you can't add any weapons or gear to them. They just give you an indication of what kind of rolls they need to roll on the dice to successfully hit the hostile they're targeting. Okay, so these are all the different cards. 3 different soldier types. We got our skill cards. Now let's look at our frontline elite. I'm sorry, frontline then elite. Frontline hostiles. Oh, this elite one needs to go over here with the elites. Right. A bunch of ambushers. Some stragglers. These are all German, of course. Grenadiers. Flamethrowers. Riflemen. Officers. Stormtrooping. These are the stormtroopers. Where Star Wars got their idea. Sniper team, machine gun team, a couple of those. Some recruits. They only cost 1 experience point. Wow. So they're like the young ones, the young recruits. A large truck and a half track. So these are the front line, which are the easier hostiles to go up against. Here's the elite ones, which are much harder. So these are elite ambushers, so they probably have much stronger abilities. Elite stragglers, elite grenadiers, flankers are new to the elite deck here. Flamethrowers, elite riflemen, some reserves, elite officer, elite stormtroops, sniper teams, machine gun teams, mortar teams, and an elite large truck, half track, and then we have a tank. Looks like it's the most expensive one too, but I bet you it's pretty hard to take it down. It has a cover of 8, which is really hard to roll. Wow. Okay, we'll talk about cover later in the gameplay. What else did we miss? Event cards. So there's not a very big stack of event cards here. Pretty small actually. So okay, but they're all individual. That's good. Doesn't look like there's any copies. So we have a good mix of different events that could happen here. I don't want to spoil it for myself, so I'm just going to kind of look at the names. Cool. Event cards. We covered all the different card types. I'll see you on the next video when we set up our decks of cards and begin a sample mission.